my name is Lauren Eldridge, and I'm a therapist at the OCD and Anxiety Center. We're a group of therapists that work primarily with anxiety-related disorders with locations in Orland and Oak Brook. I wanted to talk to you today about self-compassion during quarantine, and I think that's something that we can all use a little bit of these days. These are, as we've all heard so many times, unprecedented times that we're all in. And with that comes learning how to navigate the new roles, the different roles, and just the changing situations that we're all faced with day to day. So a few tips for how you can practice self-compassion. I would say to start off with, it's working on comparisons. And there's two types of comparisons that we tend to fall into. The first would be comparing ourselves to others and how other people are handling this. As we know, looking at social media, watching TV, and just absorbing all of this information from these platforms can be deceptive. It can be deceiving. It can lead us to believe that we're not doing enough or that we should be doing it differently. There's no right way to do quarantine. There's no right way to take on the role of being a teacher for your students or shifting to working from home if you are not used to this. So again, working on that comparison to others is something that can be really helpful and beneficial in getting that self-compassion or just being able to cope during this time. The other type of comparison is not comparing ourselves to others, but comparing ourselves to what we believe we should be. So this is a type of cognitive distortion that's pretty common with anxiety, and it's pretty common from what I've heard speaking to friends, speaking to family, and talking to people through telehealth is this should and ought to thinking is really coming up and creating a lot of stress and anxiety for us. So not only are we comparing ourselves to others, but we're comparing ourselves to these beliefs that we have created and these standards or expectations that we've created for ourselves. So we're getting a lot of information about ways to cope with quarantine, right? So some people are saying we can use this time to learn a new language, or you can use this time to be productive around your house, or, to do all of these things, working on your relationship, changing your body, right? So getting into these extreme exercise or fitness routines. So recognize and identify the should and ought to that you're using for yourself. We want to work on challenging that and creating more balanced thinking and more balanced expectations for ourselves. So could you learn a new language during this time? Sure, but do you have to, or is it not considered productive if you don't? And that's really where the anxiety, the stress can come from, when we create expectations and standards that we're then going to hold ourselves to versus thinking in a more flexible way. So again, just thinking about comparisons and trying to recognize and identify when we are doing this and how it can negatively impact our mood and negatively impact how we are coping and handling with this situation that is new to all of us. So give yourself a little space, give yourself some self-compassion, and if you do have any questions or if you need extra support, you can feel free to reach out to us at the OCD and Anxiety Center. My colleague and I, Colleen Pipia, are also holding a virtual parent group during this time, and that's from 6 to 7 at night on Thursdays. Again, you can reach out to me or any of my colleagues for further information at the OCD and Anxiety Center. My email is leldridge@theocdanxietycenter.com. Have a great day and go easy on yourself.